So the purpose of this measure is to establish guidelines for three things. One, social media conduct, to ensure transparency, professionalism, and accuracy when engaging with the public online. Two, community engagement, encourage ethical practices in addressing community concerns and sharing information. And third, email communication, mandate the use of official council email addresses for town business to ensure compliance with public record laws. So for tonight, I have a case study, if we'll go to the next slide, from a post actually that Mark, you actually did recently, actually about this meeting and this particular measure. In the post, you say, how do you know you're on the right track when the powers to be feel so threatened by I'm sorry, what was that?
Powers that be.
Oh, thank you so much. Powers that be feel so threatened by transparency and accountability that they try to silence elected officials on Facebook and silence free speech. The post frames the proposed measure as an attack on free speech, which misrepresents its intent. The measure seeks to clarify the distinction between personal and official capacities and ensures accountability not to restrict personal opinions or advocacy. Statements about silencing elected officials can mislead the public and create an unnecessary distrust, especially when the measure is focused on transparency and maintaining professionalism. This measure is not about limiting free speech or adding unnecessary rules. It is a proactive step to ensure professionalism, transparency, and trust between us councilors and the community.
I strongly disagree with any attempt to silence speech we disagree with. That's a dangerous path. Our council has fostered an unhealthy expectation of conformity. We've become an echo chamber. In the real world, people disagree, and that's healthy. Why this policy? Why now? Why does it apply only to the council and not to the town as a whole? If you're gonna make a policy, make it apply to across the board. It might as well call this the don't wanna see Councilor Gould's Facebook policy. You're welcome to block me. This feels like one councilor is being unfairly targeted right before an election. This policy could expose the town to liability. The Supreme Court in Bond v. Floyd unanimously held elected officials criticizing the government are exercising protected free speech. Legislatures cannot silence or punish elected officials for expressing their views.
As chair of the Rules Committee, I would ask Councilor Slobogan, can you come forward with any other communities' policies, specifically communities that may have faced a First Amendment challenge?
The agenda item that I think that I was talking about, that was supposedly was being held, you were being held back on, was on the agenda tonight. It was item G. So it wasn't, that wasn't rejected.
Because I had to file a citizen's petition?
Yeah.
No, Mark. You sent me an email on Thursday before the meeting,
And
now
required
it's
to
on the
discuss it
agenda.
with me.
And
You
now it's
ignored
on
me.
the. No, I didn't. You didn't give me time to even respond to you before you sent an email to the school committee during our last meeting, which is another example of improper behavior to send an email during a live meeting. Hearing done. All those in favor to refer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any abstentions? That motion passes 7-1.
I take great offense to the echo chamber, the rubber stamp. I put a lot of work into what I do here. I respect my fellow councilors. And I just don't think echo chamber, rubber stamp, the powers that be, the language isn't helpful.
Neither
It
is
isn't
any of
helpful.
this.